This week on Now Here with Chris and Kell.
Nice.
That makes 40,000.
We're rich.
Now that the boat is all ready to go, we still have 3 things holding up our departure. 1. We need to sell our sweet minivan. 2. Wait for weather conditions to improve. And 3. Do one final round of provisioning. Let's take care of this item first, because we still have the van to transport the goods, and the weather gods don't seem to be with us right now.
This is Sam's Club in Mexico. I've never really been to a Sam's Club in the United States, but it's a little different here. Basically like a less impressive Costco. They have rotisserie chickens and all sorts of things. Steak, chicken, tortillas, vegetables, stuff like that. This is the bread I use for sandwiches. It is a hell of a deal. It's $1 for all of that. But there's no preservatives in it, so you gotta be careful because it gets moldy quick. Gotta eat sandwiches fast, that's the key.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Also on Chris's Sam's Club specials,
$5 for a bunch of mini cinnamon sugar donuts. This just because it looks good. Looks like steak I'd want to eat. There's marbling in it. It's cut thin, but you're gonna run into that anyway. And it's 240 pesos per kilo, which is about $6 a pound. Not bad. We're gonna get this. A lot of Americans don't know this, but in the rest of the world, no one refrigerates their eggs. They just sit out on the counter as long as you take them fresh from a farm and never refrigerate them and never wash them. They have their own coating. It makes them a little different, but they're eggs. Hoping to find some salad. That's another thing that you run into. Everything's hit or miss. You go to a store in the States and everything's there almost always. And when things aren't, it's weird. Here, good luck. Veggie wise, bagged broccoli is where it's at. Ugh. Tiny pears, bigger pears. Less than $5. Sold.
and one last thing.
Provisioning can be a pain in the butt. It's also kind of fun, but we've got the van, which is a huge advantage. So really the only pain in the butt this go around is getting the stuff from the van to the boat. Not so bad. We spent about 150 bucks on enough food to feed us for probably a week. So a lot better than what we used to buy in the United States.
As we approached the evening, we got some pretty good color in the marina. Puerto Penasco was not our favorite place in Mexico, but once in a while it did surprise us.
Come along, come along. Look at that cleaning going on. This place looks great.
While I'm on dust duty, Chris is gonna get started on dinner.
Aguja norteña.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It's supposed to be short ribs, which is weird because it doesn't look like short ribs at all. Which means we should want to cook this low and slow for quite a while. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sear it on the flat top to get some browning, and then we'll probably throw it in a pan and throw it in the oven with some flavorful sauces and see what comes out. Season them right up. Start this off relatively cool so that the fat in the steak can start to melt out slowly and give us some oil for the griddle. A little garlic. Into the pan. No heat on that yet. So that's starting to smell good and smoke. Ugh. Celeries and carrots, aromatics. Let's throw this meat in. Just to juice down on those vegetables while they soften a bit. Oh yeah, that looks tasty. Let's just go ahead and put this over. We'll use that residual heat to soften those veggies while we build the rest of our sauce. Turn everything off and then we'll stick it in the oven. Which reminds me, I should probably turn that on. Get all the way down to 250.
Chris then decided this was an appropriate use for my wine.
Oh, they work.
I guess it's good to know our smoke alarms actually work, as they've never been tested. Cooking with Chris is kind of a shit show. Like this. What the f*** is this about? Anyway, now he adds some Dijon mustard.
Some dried thyme. Let's try some of this. This is harissa paste. It's freaking delicious. Gives it a little kick, but it's got more than that. It's more than just a kick, for sure. Harissa paste. Chris gives it 1 thumb up. A little harissa. That's actually plenty. Can't find my bouillon, so I'm going to use this. Basically just water and some seasonings all mixed in. We don't need a ton of liquid. Just like that. That, pretty gross, but we're going to stick that in the oven and it's going to get delish.
Is it though?
Maybe I should stir it up a bit first. You're supposed to fully submerge the meat, and I would normally if I was trying to impress, but it's just the two of us tonight, and I kind of like the brown bits that happen on top when you don't. Ugh, looks gross. Probably could use some more time, but they're thin, and I'm hungry. Spend 90 minutes in the oven. Still juicy. The real star is going to be this elotes corn I'm going to make.
It looks fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
You're just super hungry because you haven't eaten.
Well, that's part of it. How's it rank?
It's pretty damn delicious. Could have gone a little longer, but pretty happy with it for considering everything we did.
Like, set off our fire alarm? The following morning, our friends Heather and Baron on Remedy would be splashing from the boatyard and joining us in the marina. We offered to help them with their lines, but there were already plenty of hands available.
No problem.
Nice. Way to be helpful.
Nice to see you back in the water again.
Yeah, success.
This fender is the equivalent of me right here. It looks good, but doesn't help much.
To celebrate their escape from Boatyard Prison, we all went to dinner for a night at a little Italian place up the hill above the Malecon called Pane e Vino.
Next up is Pan e Vino, which means bread and wine. And this place, it sounds fancy, and it is fancy, especially for Puerto Penasco, but it's got the best view, and the food is really delicious. Come check it out. This is not the day for outside seating, but
He's right. People think, oh, Mexico, it's hot all the time. But no, Penasco is in the desert and it gets pretty chilly. The temperature right now is in the low 50s. That's Fahrenheit. The food is really good, but the ambiance and the views are really what makes this place special.
And this guy.
oh, here's the pizza. I just got here. I didn't forget to film the pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks good. Yum. Try it.
It's a full season.
We'll give Pane e Vino a rating of 16. We're down to the final days now in Puerto Penasco, and since we still have the van and our boat projects have all been completed, and the weather is a little more tolerable, we decide to explore the Malecon again. This was a Wednesday, and with Penasco being a border town, there really isn't a whole lot of traffic during the week. so we pretty much had the whole Malecon to ourselves. With most of the restaurants all shut down during the week, we decided to save our night out for tomorrow and check this place out that we've been wanting to try for a while. Plus, we heard they had the best fried chicken. The following morning, and just in the nick of time, something truly amazing happened.
Look at that. This is all the keys we have left. I don't even know what they go to. But we sold the van.
Nice.
Yes. To a nice lady here in Mexico. Hopefully she enjoys it as much as we did and it runs well for her. I think it will. She lives a good rig.
Yeah.
Got 40,000 pesos for it, which seems like a lot. But once you factor in the thank you gifts to the two guys that arranged it for us, we ended up with 39,000 pesos. So it's right around, $2,300 based on today's exchange rate.
Nice.
That makes 40,000.
We're rich. Make it rain, babe.
And now, for our last night in Puerto Penasco, we decide to invite our good friends from Beluga out to celebrate at Margarita Mermaids.
Here we go, Margarita Mermaids. Let's do it. There she is. It's a Katrina mermaid.
This place was definitely happening, and we had some live music too. The menu was very Americanized and had 20 different margarita flavors, and a free t-shirt if you somehow managed to try them all. Of course, they had chips and salsa, and the salsa was actually pretty tasty. We had a lot to celebrate that night. All the work leading up to our departure and selling the van earlier that day, that would be the last tie we had to land life. Plus, it was Lynn's birthday. Apparently, Captain Chris was on a mission to try all 20 flavors that night. We captured one last impressive sunset, and then our chicken came.
Starting with the coleslaw. Amaze balls.
It's excellent, but it does not taste like coleslaw. It's really good. Good order. Crispity, crunchy. I love thighs. Breasts are great, but a good thigh, man. That's where it's at. I didn't finish my dinner.
We had a blast at Margarita Mermaids, and we'll give this place a rating of 14. Shortly thereafter, we found ourselves crammed into someone's car, who we had just met at the restaurant, but they were also heading back to the boatyard. Thanks for the ride, Free Luff. Happy to report we all made it safely back to the marina.
Yeah, we should get out of here tomorrow. What do you guys say? We got the chicken. We can go now. Night, guys. See you tomorrow.
Our first adventure on the sea would be a long one, from Puerto Penasco to Willard Bay. It's an overnight passage, and it should take us about 22 hours, so if we leave early in the afternoon, we should arrive with plenty of daylight to anchor.
It's 1 o'clock on Friday. Getting ready to leave.
Ready?
You're centered? Yeah, it's ready. Fire it up. Yeah!
There was not a whole lot of space behind us, which meant not a lot of room for error in getting out of our slip. We had a full crew guide us out. We didn't want to take any risks by doing this ourselves. I stood on the aft deck and called out distances while Chris helmed from the inside. We slowly and very carefully crabbed our way out of this one. You can even see this guy climb on the neighbor's boat to fend off our anchor. We waved goodbye and headed out of the marina, straight for the sea. But first, start pulling in all our lines and fenders. Stay tuned for this week's blooper reel, sponsored by our patrons.
You didn't film the star of the show over there.
Yeah, you always leave me out.
That's right.
After you pretty me up, I'll be a superstar.
This guy. It's hot. It's still too hot to eat. You guys are lucky I'm wearing underwear. I got it. Don't worry, guys.